Senator Bill Hagerty joins us right now from the beautiful state of Tennessee. Senator, always good having you on. Would you support Robert F. Kennedy for Health and Human Services?
Yes, I certainly would. I've met with him a number of times. I've really found my engagements with him to be quite refreshing. Look, Neil, he's asking tough questions, questions that need to be asked. And if you think about what's happening here in America, chronic disease is on the rise. We need to be asking these tough questions. We need to give more transparency to people, and we need to make America healthy again, to put it into the president's words.
So, Senator, a lot of people are saying they like his open-mindedness to address things that have made Americans disproportionately obese and sick. As the richest nation on the earth, doesn't make sense for us to rank 40th or below in terms of longevity. But that polio vaccine opposition he once harbored was a real, blocking point to get approved. And he simply changed his mind. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's where he needs to be. Again, Neil, you and I both know, at the end of the day, President Trump sets the policies for his administration, not the individual cabinet members. Their jobs are to advise him, certainly, and then to execute on those policies. So with President Trump's clear message there on the polio vaccine, I think any concern should be allayed, and obviously Bobby backed him up.
All right, so that would seem to allay some of your fellow Republicans' concerns about RFK for this position. I did want to get an update from you on the Pete Hegseth nomination for defense. Where do you think that stands? I believe you support him for that, Senator. I don't know about some of your more reluctant colleagues.
Well, Neil, you're absolutely right. I support Pete. He's gaining momentum every day that he's here. He spends a lot of time in my office. He's one of my constituents. But I think, again, he's gaining momentum. I feel good about his ultimate confirmation. As people get to know him and hear from him, hear directly from him, as opposed to these salacious allegations that are coming from unnamed or anonymous sources, I think they're becoming more and more comfortable with him as a person. And I'll say this, Pete, the fact that you bring a leader who's energetic like Pete in, very bright, a graduate of Princeton and Harvard, but energetic and able to help us deal with the fact that we've got a real retention problem in the military. We've got a recruitment problem in the military. Pete's going to be the type of leader that can inspire, and I'm delighted to see him at the point he is, and I think, again, his momentum is positive. I look forward to seeing him confirmed.
Senator, if I could switch gears a little bit on what would be the priorities. The Senate obviously has indicated through John Thune, your leader, that they want to work on the border first. That's crucial, and then address the tax cut situation. Not that you can't walk and chew gum at the same time, but that is the priority. It's a little less consistent in the House. What's your sense of how all that's reconciled?
I actually think it's going to be sorted out over the course of the next couple of weeks. We all want to see this done as quickly as possible. That's certainly dealing with the border, dealing with the tax package, the extensions there, and dealing with U.S. energy, getting us back to the position of energy dominance. All of those are absolutely critical. I'd like to see them happen on day one, but again, the Congress moves a little bit more slowly than that. But as soon as possible, whether we take them as one unified package or as separate packages, I want to see them implemented as quickly as we possibly can. And if it does turn out that the packages are separated, that doesn't mean that we have any less interest in getting the second package done. What it means is that it's just taking a little bit longer. We're moving post-haste with what we have ready. But again, remains to be seen. President Trump's team will be working with leadership here in the Senate and the House. Again, I think the overarching comment I'd like to make, though, is we want to see this done as quickly as possible.
Donald Trump also today was mentioning this whole drone dust-up, and he thinks that President Biden and the White House know exactly what's going on, that the military can't not know what's going on. What do you think?
I certainly believe the same thing. They've got to know what's going on. The fact that they're not telling us means that, they haven't figured out how they're going to spin it. But they need to explain to the American people what's happening, because it's creating a great deal of concern. I certainly think if it were a nefarious source, if it were a foreign source, which they seem to be comfortable that's not the case, they would have dealt with it differently. So my sense is they do know what's going on. We're just going to have to get them to be a little bit more transparent with the American people.
Senator, it's always a pleasure having you on.